American dream. A 2-story house, a wife and 2.5 children, 2-car garage, a white picket fence, and of course, a well-kept, lush lawn. Whomst among us hasn't yearned for this reality promised to us by generations before? But let's take a moment to ruin this image. No, I'm not going to talk about how this house is unaffordable to most people under the age of 30. I'm not going to critique the outdated traditions of marriage. I won't even discuss the financial burden of having children in a crumbling economic era. Today, my goal is simple: to end your lawn's career. So strap in, boys, girls, and everybody else. I am going to deliver a thought-provoking piece about grass lawns and why you should opt for something new. A video so moving that you'll think I'm this guy, except less funny and not British. To start out, I want to mention that grass lawns aren't necessarily bad everywhere. Certain wet climates like west of the Cascades, parts of the southeast and northeast can be just fine. Having a rainy climate works well with grass. No, I am focusing on the impact of grass lawns in arid climates, particularly deserts. Grass lawns are high maintenance. Grass grows quickly, requiring mowing often. Weeds and moss grow, requiring additional care. The shorter you cut the grass, the more susceptible it is to dying, which requires regular watering during the summer and early fall. In some places, getting grass to grow is harder than others. Many places need heavy fertilizer usage. Patches of grass taken over by moss need to be dug up, either by hand or specialty equipment, and then reseeded or resodded. To sum it up, having a grass lawn is a chore. Most Americans only have 2 days off from a work week. Spending hours of those 2 precious days dealing with lawn care is simply not worth it. And the cost of hiring somebody to come take care of your lawn can add up really fast. Oftentimes, the grass seed you buy from your local home improvement store has a blend of non-native plants. To most consumers, all grass looks the same, but that is not the case. Some grass experts, yes, of course those exist, estimate that there could be as many as 13,000 species of grass. Now that is an umbrella that includes plants like barley, rye, and wheat. Still, with so many different species around the world, it is likely that planting commercial grass seed will introduce invasive species to your area. Furthermore, non-native species of grass won't grow as well in a region it's not from, meaning that more fertilizer will be needed to get the grass to grow how most people prefer it. The runoff from those fertilizers can get into streams, rivers, and lakes, causing underwater plants to grow and take over their ecosystems. This can kill animals that live there and thus also hurt animals that hunt them. But allow me to take a moment to get something far more personal off my chest. I promise it relates. I currently live in the Central Oregon high desert, where we have an average of 11.38 inches of rainfall per year and 300 days of sunshine. Yet, when you walk around, you see many well-maintained, lush lawns. This requires a lot of water, and the most common way people around here make sure their lawns stay watered is this. Automated sprinklers cover a city like this. Businesses, parks, and private homes are equipped with these sprinklers. That way, business owners as well as private citizens can reduce the burden of people having to water. I hate these sprinklers. I love going for walks. In the summer, I often walk at night to avoid the heat, and I have to constantly walk through the pathway of sprinklers, weaving in and out of the road to avoid the spray. But to make this less about my personal annoyance and to steer it back to the main point, why am I having to worry about these sprinklers on a walk? Because these sprinklers don't just cover the grass they're watering. They cover everything. Sidewalks, the road, parked cars, small children, bikes, trikes. unicycles, birds. This contributes to significant water waste, even if the sprinklers are working as intended. A lot of the time, these sprinklers go off at night to reduce the annoyance of people having to walk through wet sidewalks, but doing this means that broken sprinklers are often overlooked. Thank God, someone's got to water the parking lot. Even a small leak in a sprinkler can waste over 6,000 gallons of water per month. And all the maintenance I mentioned before, lawn mowing, trimming, edging, can use gas-powered equipment, and I don't need to mention why that's bad. One encouraging thing about lawn care equipment is that many are turning to electric alternatives. Now the battery for those, you know what? I think we've had enough environmental talk to get into that. Now, I know what you're thinking. Club Keeg, I thought this was America. I can do whatever I want, goddammit. I want a grass lawn and I have the freedom to do that. Well, first off, yeah, okay, but let's get into freedom. How you have less agency than you think around what you do with your property and why this grassy hill is not the one to die on. If you rent your home, you already can't choose what to do with your lawn. If you own your home, you're subject to your local jurisdiction's rules. It can be a county or a city. City ordinances often dictate many things about your property, including what types of plants you can grow. If you're one of the 75 million Americans that live under an HOA, the restrictions for your home are even more suffocating. But for a moment, let's talk about a place with a lot of freedom. Las Vegas, Nevada. Oh yeah, that place you visit twice a year to gamble your children's college fund. The place with open drinking, smoking, and where you always seem to randomly lose your wedding ring. Yes, this symbol of personal freedom and opulence has a very interesting law that we should talk about. In 2021, Las Vegas banned the use of non-functional grass. Now, this law does not include individuals' lawns or parks, but it does include common spaces in condos and apartments. In a place that's so synonymous with freedom and wastefulness, Las Vegas is taking strides in removing unnecessary grass. Why? 'Cause it's a fucking desert! Let's face it, people enjoy grass. It's nice to sit on, it's nice for kids to play on, it's good for dogs. This is why I believe that cities should invest in having more parks. Having spaces to go with grass that is shared will reduce the need for every individual house to have their own lawn, with their own lawn mower, and their own stupid fucking automated sprinkler that sprays me and ruins my life. When considering getting rid of your lawn, you certainly don't need to change everything all at once. Replacing your front yard and keeping grass in your backyard will reduce the environmental impact you leave and will reduce the time and money spent on lawn care. Letting grass, weeds, and other plants grow longer with more time in between mowing can help keep a healthier ecosystem, but it usually does look like shit. But to close off this video, let me show you a nice montage of xeriscaped yards and ideas for alternatives that work better for arid climates. Thank you for watching.
Baby, let me mow your grass. Honey, can I mow your grass? Baby, let me mow your grass. I only want to mow your grass. I'll mow it with style, cut it with class. Honey, can I mow your...
That's gonna do it for this video, but before I go, I would like to talk about which exotic animal would make the best house pet in a studio apartment. So, I don't actually know the difference between an alligator and a crocodile, and I kind of don't care. My problem with either of these choices is I don't know if they breathe air or if they have gills. I see them in extended periods of time on land and in water. So do they have both? I don't actually know. But either way, they're pretty moist. Like, they're pretty slippery and moist. I feel like you'd need to keep them at a certain moisture level in order to keep them alive. To make sure they don't die. In a studio apartment, there's not a lot of room, and a lot of them are carpeted, and I think it'd be a problem. I don't like it. Another problem with a crocodile or an alligator is if you don't live on the ground floor, how are you going to get that thing up to your apartment? Say you're in like a medium size, maybe even a big city, and you live on like the 6th floor. Are you just going to put a leash on that thing and try to get it to walk up the stairs? I don't know if that's going to work. they're built so low. They're like low riders. Are they going to be able to go up the stairs efficiently? And like, okay, you have an elevator. Congratulations, you're rich. Cool. Anyway, like, can you fit an alligator? Which way do you like? Can you even get in the door? Can it stand up? Can you make it do like a like two-legged there for a second so that you can get it up 5, 6 flights of stairs? Or like does it bend enough for you to be able to like coil it around? And I just God, I'm so upset. So tigers are pretty cool, right? Like whenever I go to the zoo, I want to see a tiger because like that's cool. But like I'm just kind of concerned about food delivery. Like, could you imagine a pizza guy coming to your house, or lady? Imagine a pizza person comes to your door and knocks on the door, and it's late night. Okay, I ordered pizza late night. Okay, sue me. And the pizza person opens the door, and there's a tiger behind you, and you're chill because that's just your pet, Big Jim. But the pizza person freaks out, and it's past your apartment's quiet hours, and then the fucking apartment police come and they're like, "Why are you making a bunch of noise?" And you're like, I was just minding my own business. I ordered a pizza, and then they freaked out because they saw my tiger. And they're like, "Wait, you have a tiger? Like, that's going to be an extra $1,000 pet deposit. You said you just had a cat." And it's like, well, a tiger's a fucking cat, isn't it? I don't think it would be a good idea, okay? I think if I had to pick an exotic animal that would be the best indoor pet in a studio apartment, it would probably be a tarantula. I mean, think about it. They're fuzzy. You could cuddle. Most importantly, though, if you bring people to your apartment and there's a tarantula there, they're not going to come back. So you don't have to clean your apartment nearly as often. So my answer is going to be a tarantula. So go ahead and let me know in the comments section below, right down there. If you were in a studio apartment, what exotic animal would you choose if you had to choose an exotic animal to be an indoor house pet in your studio apartment? Thank you. Goodbye. I don't like grass. I think grass is ass. I'm really smart. Finished top of my class. If you have a lawn, I think you should go to jail.